Hey guys, so for my first fight this war, we have a Chavez on 2 with Nick Fury again. Um, yeah, this is a pretty simple fight for Chavez. I don't really understand this placement. Doom and Nick Fury are both fantastic for this fight. I decided to go with Nick Fury because he's an R4 and Doom is an R3, but both are just excellent options for this fight. And the basic fight plan for me is I'm just never going to knock Chavez down. So she's never going to go debuff immune. And because Nick Fury has such good damage, the protection, it'll definitely be noticeable, but it's not going to, cause a timeout or even really make it sketchy or anything. It's just going to cause a little bit of a longer fight, but that's perfectly fine. Here, I do dumb risky shit. I was trying to get that, less power from less lights, doing that spacing shit that I've been practicing a whole lot. And I thought I was good enough at it for war at this point, but I guess not. But, we only lost 2 invuln charges, so we're still in a perfect situation. We're going to push Chavez to her own L3. And, yeah, we're just in a great position to solo at this point. And I really don't want to lose my second life, because I need it for the kitty pride that I have coming up. So, yeah. So, yeah, this Annihilus on 11, it's just a really simple Doom fight. Not much to say about this. We have MD5, and, we're just going to get into the L3 cycle, and then an L2 will kill. And, yeah, just a really simple and easy fight. So now for this Kitty Pride. I've done this in off-season a few times, but I've never actually done this fight in season. Um, so, I was pretty confident in this matchup, because, I've already done this a couple times on Boosted and with the R3 Nick. So, I was pretty confident going into this that I would be able to solo it. So, yeah, the main strat here is to just bait specials and do those light combos and make sure to immediately hold block so she doesn't throw specials doesn't phase. And yeah, we have raid pre-fights. This is mostly for the debuff siphoner, but the other two are nice as well because it lets us do bait it at this opportune time that we can just get this L1 out at just a perfect time to then bait more L1s. And yeah, it just lets me get into a really good cycle with that. And here, this is a little bit of a mistake. I shouldn't have thrown this L2. I should have just baited a special before. But not a big deal. We just need to not Dex and bait the special. I find it pretty easy to bait Kitty's specials. Especially when she's phasing. She tends to throw a lot of specials, so not too dangerous, but definitely closer than it should have been. But yeah, I didn't need second life or anything, so not the biggest deal if I would have lost my first life there. And yeah, we get to solo with Nick. Now for this Maw fight, I was originally supposed to take this with global down, but me and one of my pathmates on 4, we're running a little bit low on time, so we wanted to. So I just took it with global up. I don't particularly think high ground is a huge deal for this fight, at least with how I play it, but everyone seems to always just think you need high ground down for this. And well, I do understand wanting it down, and it's definitely a nice touch. I definitely don't think it's necessary to have high ground down for this fight in particular. Because as you see, we're not blocking a hit, and the only time you're going to block a hit is if you need to purposely tank an L3. If he's given poor AI, you need to just block hits, throw your L3, and try and nuke as much damage off, and probably tank an L3 at the end of your cycle. And yeah, but you've got enough health to comfortably do that. And yeah, just get the solo here. This L3 will kill, and we're chilling. And yeah, this source up, it's just a basic Nick Fury fight. There's nothing really going on here. Um, just ending my combos with lights, and that's about it. It's got a pretty low health pool, and Source doesn't really have many abilities that will interact with the node at all. So like, it's just a basic Source fight. So yeah, for this cable, my plan going into it was if he threw an L1, instead of blocking it, because that would give him a bunch of prowess and let him go unblockable, I was going to try and dex as much as possible and just eat the hits, because it's better to just eat the hits than it would be to block this, and we're going to bait heavy so we don't get disorients, and using Mystic Dispersion, and the Mystic Power Boost, and, what's it called? And a Power Start 1, we're just going to never have to bait a special or even come close. As you're going to see after this L3, it becomes really cheesy with this power gain buff. And yeah, he never gets another chance to do anything in this fight, and the fight's just over, which is really nice. This was probably the fight I was the most worried about because I wasn't really sure how it would go, but Doom, very amazing as you can see here. He just gets another L3 off and fight's done. And yeah, for this Terrax, we want to get intercepts off and throw special twos. We're boosted pretty big, so I'm not going to worry too much about rock fields. here, and my main thing is to just try and keep Terrax in the corner for spacing purposes. In case anything got nasty and I would have had to, back off a bunch, we want to keep Terrax, as far in the corner as possible. And that's the basic strategy here. And yeah, here are our war results for this war. We had an absolutely amazing war. In BG2, we only had one death, and they died one time to our BG2 defense. And yeah, just fantastic performance by BG2. And then across the ally, we had 3 deaths, and they have 8 deaths at the time, with 4 fights left. So yeah, great win. We played absolutely fantastic. Very happy with this win today. Felt very good.